Okay, let's give you guys some more practice. So work out this area. Work out this area here from negative infinity to -2. So press pause and have a go. Okay, so to do this, remember that on -2, nothing breaks down. So -2 is defined. So we need to integrate it from, let's say, an arbitrary point, let's say B, all the way to -2, and then later allow B to head towards negative infinity. Later on, take the limit as B heads towards negative infinity. So to do this, we need to integrate it from B. We will need to integrate it from B all the way to -2, and then allow B to head towards negative infinity. So take the limit as B heads towards negative infinity. So this thing here is equal to this. So now it's just a matter of us trying to integrate this. So to integrate this, we're going to need to use partial fractions. So rewrite this. Well, always try and keep an eye out on something easily square rootable, and there happens to be a minus in between. Then we can jump from here to here. So it's this plus this, and then this minus. So whenever something's easily square rootable, and there happens to be a minus in between, then you can jump to plus negative. Okay, so we can rewrite this as this. So now it's just a matter of us finding A and B in such a way that this whole thing here is exactly the same as this. So our task is to find A and B, and we've done this before in our section on integrations. Well, anyway, here times top and bottom here by x minus 1, and then over here times top and bottom here by x plus 1. So this thing here will then become this. So now group all the multiply this out. That will then give you this. Now group all the coefficients together. So if you look at this here, this contains x. So we can join these two up. That will then give us this. This is a constant. This is a constant. That will then give us this. So we've got to find A and B in such a way that that the coefficient here is 0, because if you look at this here, this is 0x plus a constant. So we've got to somehow make this thing here 0, and somehow make this thing here to be 2. So we've got to make this to be 2. Got to make this to be 2. We've got to make this to be 0. So now use simultaneous equations, solving simultaneous equations. So A must be -1, B must be 1. So what that means is we can rewrite this thing here. Remember, from above, we were trying to find A and B in such a way that this whole thing here will be exactly the same as this. Well, A happens to be -1, and B happens to be 1. So we can well, this fraction here is exactly the same as these two. Okay, so we can rewrite this as this. So right from above we were trying to integrate this, or we can rewrite this as one fraction take away another fraction. This is exactly the same as this. So now this is really easy to integrate. It will be natural log absolute value of this thing here, and then here you take away the absolute value of this thing here. So integrate this, it will then give you this. So now it's just a matter of us putting the -2 into here. Put -2 into here. So that will be this whole thing here will be -3, but because we've got the absolute here, so that will give us +3. And then put -2 into here. -2 plus 1, so that would be -1. But because we've got absolute here, so this will be it will be natural log of 1, and then put b into here, so that would be b minus 1, and then put b into here. This thing here will then become this. And natural log of 1, remember your natural log graph, 1 is here, natural log of 1 is 0. So this thing here disappears, and then and then and then just switch these two around. So put this in front. So this is a positive, and then this is a negative. So but basically switch these two around. The reason why we want to switch them around is because we want to merge these two together. So merge these two together, that will then give you this. Remember, natural log of a over b, that's the same as natural log of a minus natural log of b. So basically, switch these two around, that will then give you this. So now it's just simply this thing divided by this thing here. So combine these two together, and then you can see what's happening as b heads towards negative infinity. As b heads towards negative infinity, so here as b gets very negatively big, this thing here, well, if b is very big, negatively big, and then you plus this one here is negligible, and as b gets very big, this minus 1 here is negligible. So you can think of it as like being b over b, because as it gets very big, positive or negative, this plus 1 thing is negligible, this minus 1 thing is negligible. So you can think of it as being b over b. Well, that's the same as like this here. If you look at the graph of this, it would be 1, but then on 0 it breaks down. If you look at x squared over x squared, it looks the same, but then on 0 it breaks down. The point here, you can think of this as being 1. So this thing here is really 1 as a limit tends towards negative infinity. It is, this thing here is 1. Now, if this whole thing here is 1, natural log of 1, then this must be 0, because this thing here is heading towards 1. It is heading towards 1. So remember natural log here. If it's heading towards 1, then this whole thing here is 0. It's heading towards 0. So all that's left is really this thing here. So the area is given by the natural log of 3. So this area here is given by this. Okay.